With the COVID-19 pandemic firmly behind us, facility managers are adjusting to the promised new normal. However, the challenges of today aren't all that different from the pre-pandemic world. It doesn't matter what problem facility managers are trying to solve in their building if there is no one around to fix it. The great resignation that followed the pandemic led to an early exit of millions of workers across all industries. Now, in a tight labor market with employees desiring to work remotely, facility managers are struggling to find qualified candidates for an in-person industry.
So facility managers face a variety of staffing challenges, including high turnover, skill gaps, absenteeism, and low morale. After we came out of the pandemic, the job market shifted dramatically. The average age of facility management workers right now is 51 years old. Younger workers are pursuing careers that they perceive as higher status, lower unemployment rates, and higher competition.
The very foundation of our country depends on the physical space to conduct work. Without FMs, there'd be no one to operate and maintain the White House. I mean, what could be more vital? And I think that's kind of what we really want to share. The work that we do, the work that FMs do, can be massively impactful to countless people.
Here at Kent State University, we tried to develop and continue to develop a grow your own program where we take relatively unskilled employees, we put them in a certified apprenticeship program in order to train them into more skilled positions and thus try to address our staffing shortages. We've had some success with that.
On the entry level, I think the industry needs to do a better job of advocating for itself at universities and colleges and trade schools. The work our FMs do is critical and it's dynamic. No 2 days are the same. And I think if we can share that with incoming employees, incoming FMs, that's enticing.
The pandemic shined a light on how facility managers can keep building occupants healthy, but in reality, facility managers do much more than that. They are responsible for keeping occupants safe, whether the danger is a fire, violent incident, or natural disaster.
Security has always been one of the most challenging aspects for facility managers. I think today what has made it increasingly more of a challenge is the expectation of convenience and experience along with security. You know, in the past, secure may have meant the facility is locked down. But now, with the desire for convenience and the desire for the experience for that employee or that visitor or whoever it is, that has to be balanced with the security.
We're responsible for ensuring the safety and security of not only employees, but all occupants of the building. I think all facility managers should treat their first priority as looking at life safety systems, making sure that their inspections and preventative maintenance are done on fire alarm, fire suppression, egress routes, fire extinguishers, and other life safety systems and equipment. The next priority, they should look at indoor air quality to make sure that the air within the building is suitable for the environment. And again, going back to testing, inspection, and making sure preventative maintenance is done.
The facility managers are at the core of ensuring those occupants are safe and secure. Everybody who's in that building has that basic expectation that if I'm in here, the facility manager has done their due diligence to ensure the application of this security is in place. And everybody who's in there has that expectation that they are in a conducive environment to live, to work, to play, whatever they're in that location for. The facility manager plays a big role in ensuring that those occupants have that peace of mind.
Buildings are responsible for 40% of global carbon emissions. Whether the current buzzword is green, sustainability, or ESG, environmental issues have been a top priority for facility managers for decades. And now with the goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050, today is no different.
30 years ago, nobody was really talking about green building. 20 years ago, LEED had first come out and people were starting to use it. And then today, fast forward to today, there is such an awareness of how our buildings are impacting so many things, from our health to the environment to the climate, financial impacts.
That the greatest challenge we face today is failure to adapt to change. And with everything that's going on today relative to climate change, change is happening faster and faster. It's important to look at and to understand what needs to be done to try to stay under the 1.5 degrees C temperature rise we're trying to keep the temperature to.
I think one of the biggest trends in my mind that we'll face in the next few years, I think it's just our involvement in ESG, environmental, social, and governance, like in the best way though. I think we'll be asked or tasked to be more mindful and involved in the process of making a greater contribution to the conduciveness of what we do and the organization's mission, the organization's goals, and also the values.